What is up, party people? Let's talk about the AMP token. So, Consensys, one of the creators of the AMP token, is working with AMD and they're forming a SPAC. And what does that mean in simple terms, in layman's terms? It means they want to go Wall Street. When companies form a SPAC, it's because they're looking to get institutional money coming in. They're trying to get more money for some sort of plan that they have. And the easiest way to do it is to form a SPAC, because it means that they did all the legal paperwork and companies are more inclined to invest with them, to give them money, knowing that if something goes sour, there's legal remedies. So they're looking to form a SPAC, and you may be saying, well, what's the purpose of forming a SPAC besides getting that institutional money? They may be going up, or at least trying to compete with AWS, because when we think about AWS, when we think about nodes, more than half of the nodes are running on AWS, which means AWS is taking a big chunk of what's happening on Ethereum, for example. And Consensys has plans. They're saying, hey, we can't have AWS taking the bulk of it. And AWS is going to charge an arm and a leg because, they're the big boy and they can do it. And Consensys, we know Consensys has been working with central banks. Think about Latin America. We talked about Latin America. And one of the things that they have to accomplish is they have to make it scalable so that people can do simple transactions, on a small scale. Think about it for a moment. Let's say you wanted to buy something with your Ethereum for $10, but you got to pay gas fees that are $300. Remember those days? $400, and even now, after the merger, it can still be more expensive to do small-scale transactions. So, Consensys would need them to compete with them to become node providers, to make Ethereum more decentralized. And this is one way to do it. And then how can this help the AMP token, you may be asking? Well, with them working with the central banks, there are a lot of people in Latin America that want to work with stable coins because they're trying to fight inflation in their country, and inflation pretty much is brutal. We have inflation here. It sucks, but it's nothing compared to what is happening in Latin America. So if people are dealing with stable coins and they want to spend those stable coins, they need access. They need a way to do it. They need those transactions to be finalized. They need collateral, and the AMP token can provide that. With Consensys getting into the game and going up against AWS, they can now scale it to the mom and pop stores, for example. If you guys have seen my videos and you've seen me walking around Brazil, you're going to notice one thing interesting. And it's pretty much the same in most of Latin America. And that's that a lot of the stores are mom and pops. It's not like here where we're going to go to 7-Eleven if we need something quick, or the gas station where everything's pretty much controlled by some giant corporation. In Latin America, it's actually mom and pop shops that are the majority. Lots of these companies, just decide to, hey, a person might go, hey, I'm going to open a restaurant, rent a little spot, or even open it in the garage, start selling food. But now, with the central bank digital currency starting to take form in Latin America, if they are trying to fight inflation by having money in stablecoins and they need to spend it, this is where the AMP token can start playing a role, because now the groundwork, the layout, the foundation for doing transactions is there, because now Consensys has a piece of that pie that is dominated by AWS. So it's good news. It's not something that we'll probably see right away, but it's something to think about long term. So there's potentially good news in the long term. Anyway, guys, until next time, peace out.